Welcome everybody to the Evil Ewok podcast. Call us the Smash Brothers because we are all here. Everyone is here. Again, finally.
We are finally all together, and we are going to say this that we will be back every week. But at this point, who even knows? But the important thing is we are here. We are back. The trio is here. Evil Ewok podcast is back, and we have a new addition.
Yeah, she's there she is. That is Luna, everybody.
Look at her! Oh my god.
She's a little demon. What are you doing right now?
She's in a chompy mood.
Hey, chill.
It's a pupper stream today.
It's a pupper stream today.
We have a new Ewok amongst us. I'm so happy.
I'm gonna get a new Ewok soon too.
Wait, that's right.
Kat, you have to get an Ewok too now.
Tom, we need to step up our game.
We just need to have a puppy stream where it's just the puppies on the mic.
Yeah.
See what happens.
They're all dressed up as us. Hey, you relax. We talked about this. You can't act out during the stream. Stop it.
It's just three dogs. It's just three dogs licking the mic, and there's like 20,000 viewers.
Yes.
3 dogs talking Star Wars. Which we can do finally.
I know.
Yeah. Oh yes, Zach wasn't here on the.
I was not here.
You weren't here. We had the whole discussion. Yeah. So the strike is over.
We're back, baby. We're back. We're finally. I still feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I still have residual like nervousness to talk about things because for those 6 or 5, however many months it was, I think it was at least 5 months. I don't know. But for that whole time, it was just like, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. So even though it's over, I still have residual like, oh my God, am I allowed to say this? So
yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get smacked if I say the word Star Wars.
I love how people when we tried to keep the stream active for a little bit, the pod like the week after the strike, and we were like, so we're gonna be marketing things to AI today, and then people were coming in the chat. I love how they redacted like we say ST asterisk R W asterisk RS. So it was.
Somehow Zach returned.
Zach is back.
Zach is back. Zacharias Maximus is back. Tell us, Zach, what have you been doing?
I've been working and I moved. As you can see, my background is horrible and plain. This room is actually bigger than the room I was in before. It just doesn't look it. I need to do some decorating. And I have a dog, and that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, dude. Didn't you moved from the place you were, but you're still in the same area, right?
Yeah, go ahead and dox me real quick.
I almost doxed you. I always do that. Zach's in Alabama, everyone.
Yep, deep south.
But it's the same job, though, right? It's not.
Same job, same city. I mean, it's LA. It's a big city, but same city, different part of LA. New dog. That's about it.
That's all you need.
All you need.
Are you enjoying it?
No, of course not.
You don't like the job?
No, the job's fine. I mean, just like it just feels like I don't have a lot of free time, but that's just the work life, you know.
No, we gotta find time, Zach, because now we're in the same neck of the woods. Also, not doxing us.
Now we're just gonna go all in on the Evil Ewok podcast.
Cat's also in Alabama. Roll Tide.
Do people actually watch college football that you know?
I still do.
Actually watches? Do you guys watch college football?
Yeah.
Not really.
I hardly watch NFL anymore. I'm just tired of seeing Taylor Swift.
I know, dude. Yeah.
And I think that's calmed down a little bit. I think.
Thank you, Sean.
But anyway, roll call. Yeah, Sean, welcome. Sean's tuning in from Zach's stream. I mean, from Kat's stream.
Yes, I gave a very last minute abrupt announcement. We have a new development that we can now stream to multiple different channels at once.
Hell yeah.
However, I believe the chats all magically merge. I don't know. To be determined.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a little icon above the people that are coming from your stream is what I'm seeing.
Dang, dude.
Oh, I see now.
Doing for like a few months and technology just passes us by.
For real. Yet still no emoji rain.
I know.
What
Sorry.
up, Barb's Basement? What up, Jerry? And yes, Charlie is always doing karate, but he's our karate kid. What up, Charlie? Colin, welcome. Oh, Mr. Fett, what did he have to say?
He's saying LA is the worst place he's visited. It's scary. Only parts of it. Some parts are very nice.
Which part did you go?
LA stands for Lower Alabama.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
goodness.
does.
Oh, okay. So if Alice is watching on your guys' channel, she can't see Sean, who's chatting on my channel. Okay, interesting. So yeah, if depending on which channel you're watching from.
So I guess
That
just
would
have
be-
both open.
He's
Yeah.
there.
All right.
Take our word for it.
Give
Sean
us
is there.
both the views.
If I need to make you a mod on our channel so you don't have to keep flip flopping, I can do that too. But anyway, what up, Sal? Welcome. Welcome, my guy. And then of course, always Alice.
Our
All
queen.
The OGs.
Thanks for sticking with us, guys. It's
The main squeeze.
I know.
It was a long time we were gone.
I know.
For
I
real.
had a whole spiel when you weren't here, Zach, about how like the fact that they're still here is incredible. Your dog's so cute. I'm sorry. The fact that they're still here is really a testament to how awesome they are. Not us at all. I'm surprised anyone's here, but I just really we appreciate you guys so much for sticking with us through this 5-month hiatus or 6-month hiatus, and then before that we had like a year hiatus, and then I don't know. No one can believe us anymore. I feel like it's just one of those things.
The dark times.
It was the dark times. Hopefully, we're entering a new age where we are consistent.
Yes. New Year's resolution.
New
Start the
year,
year-
new us.
And hopefully, a better Star Wars.
Yes. To segue into
To
tonight's
segue
topic.
into Star Wars 2023, our year in review. You know, we kind of discussed a little bit about our opinions, Kat, when Zach wasn't here, but this is going to be a good chance to kind of, you know, see where we're all headed, because I feel like we kind of agreed on everything, Kat, like we normally do. But
Sean. No, I think
we're
you're a little
consistently
more.
inconsistent.
I think we are very in agreement because I feel like we were all on the same wavelength when we would rally in the group chat after episodes aired and whatnot. So, but I don't know. We kind of got. Are we all the same in that we feel differently when the show is actively airing, and then we give it some time and the rose-colored glasses come off, and we can actually think a little bit more objectively about it.
Okay, so where do we want to start? Let's go through the projects, because it's I to an extent I'm like that, where it's like, oh yeah, I like it more when it's on and then I have time to digest it. But I think every show's different. Every game, I think there was a game this year, is different.
Survivor, yes.
What was first? Was it Mandalorian?
I think
Or
it
was
was
it?
no, it was Bad Batch.
Bad
So this
Batch.
article kind of goes through all of them. So I totally forgot that Bad Batch was this year. I felt like this year was really long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weirdly, you know, I felt like COVID was really long, but now I feel like this year for some reason has just felt like really, really long. I don't know if it's because we get hyped up and we can't wait for the new Star Wars content, and then some of it falls short in some aspects, and we're like, damn. But at least from my end, Bad Batch I think was a banger, right?
Yeah, no, I think so. Other than Sid.
Yeah, aside from Sid, yeah.
Other than our arch nemesis. No, and I'm actually I love where I can't even honestly, I have to actually rewatch Bad Batch. It's actually strange putting into perspective how long ago this was. I feel like I have to rewatch the whole series now because shockingly next season is going to be the finale. But I do feel like I feel like where season 2 left us off, I'm actually way more excited. Not that I wasn't, but how did season 1 even end? Oh, Camino. Yeah, I can't even remember. But I'm
yeah,
still...
Tech freaking died. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. He's dead.
Is that kind of a sign that it's not good that we're forgetting what's happening?
I think it just means it was a long time ago.
I mean, I do miss Omega's accent. That's all I have to say.
I know.
Tick dying is my strategy.
Strategy.
Oh my god.
Did I ever save that video? I never saved that video, did I?
No, it's gone. Bad Batch season 2. I remember being very frustrated. Okay, Luna, not right now. Please, not right now.
No.
I remember being very frustrated with the pacing of it until the end, and it got good. And it was kind of like, why weren't you like this the whole time? And then it was over, and so I would say I have I'm very meh on the Bad Batch overall. I mean, there is Sid that kind of drags it down a little bit. But there are good moments when they, it's just like, it feels like it just can't get out of its own way. It could be so much more than it is, I think is an apt way to put it.
It's kind of why I'm like, I was sad to learn that the next season's going to be the last one. It's like, let them keep cooking.
Let them cook.
Like, why?
Let 'em
Why?
I feel like in general, this show was never meant to be like a standout, right? It was supposed to be something in between.
To fill the void.
Yeah, I always kind of felt like that was the intent, was just another story to kind of fill the void so we have content, right? But it ended up being pretty cool in some aspects, because it still had like the same animation, only cleaner than Clone Wars that we remember, right? And we're like, oh, this looks good. The story, I mean, it's a lot of it is pretty cliche and generic, but it still has heart and soul, and it was fun, in some aspects. But I think like when I remember this year, I don't even remember the show coming out this year. So, I mean, I think that's a good indicator that maybe it is a forgetful show. It's not quite, but I don't think it was ever supposed to be like the thing. It was supposed to just be a thing, right?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
I just think that if you're going to use the Clone Wars animation, and that's automatically going to remind people of the Clone Wars, and they're going to expect the quality to be Clone Wars-esque. Because it's not like they went and did Resistance again, where it was like this totally different animation style. Very childish, whimsical, not super important. Doesn't really feel big at all. This was like the Clone Wars animation, like, and it was the way that the first season started. Do you remember that, where it was like, holy crap?
Yeah, oh my God, it was electric.
It was dark. It felt like a perfect continuation from the end of the Clone Wars, and then it just kind of devolved into, all right, Gain, I need you to go across the galaxy and get me this doodad.
Right. That's right. Yes. It started off great, right? That was our biggest gripe. It started off great. We're like, this show is incredible. And then it just became a goose chase for some reason. For some reason, the Bad Batch would constantly do what Sid says, even though they didn't have to. Or they would save Sid when they really didn't have to. Right. And it went against all logic for why, if they're Clone Force 99, why don't they use their brain?
Why didn't they just leave? Like, what's Sid gonna do?
Real. What she finally did. Turn them the frick in, ratted them out. All that work. She did it. Yeah.
All right. So after
what was their gripe on, like, why did they want to keep Sid in it? Like, what was the whole thing?
Because she was gonna dox them.
No, but like, why do the showrunners like keep this going for as long as they have? I felt like we were never going to see Sid again.
That's why I'm like, why is it ending now? Because I feel like the season finally tapped into some themes that branched out of just the, kind of episodic, side quest mission, objective, and then it's over, and then a clean slate, fresh next episode, versus I feel like the second season finally really tapped into some of the darker post Order 66 themes that we wanted to see outside of all of that, and how everything they were actively doing, fed into that, or how it was going to intertwine. And so I'm like, now they're finally scraping the iceberg, and it's already going to be over next season. I'm sad. I don't know.
Omega made the crew more of a dad batch. This is from their own website. It's pretty much what happened. Yeah.
This is on the Star Wars website?
Yeah, this is the official article about Star
I got
Wars
an email from them where they were saying, like, we we discussed the best Star Wars had to offer this year, and it felt like that meme of Obama putting on a medal of Obama. Have you seen that meme where it's like Obama standing behind Obama and putting a medal on his neck? That's what it felt like to me.
Oh God. Echo leaving to help Rex. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right. Oh, and then Pabu. Yeah. Do you remember we were like, oh, Pabu's probably this cool thing, and then it's just an island that no one gives a shit about. Yeah.
I thought Pabu was Mochi's brother.
Yeah, someone said something. Season 2 was great, only it was overshadowed by Mando. Did Mando come like right after?
Yeah,
they overlapped.
They were on at the same time.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Why did they do that? Still don't know.
And that's ironically when Bad Batch started getting good, is when they overlapped.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel
like
they
were getting less viewers too on the last episodes because
I feel like we were coming on streams and we'd be like, all right, we covered Mando, let's talk about Bad Batch. Like, I feel like there were actually a few episodes where we were like, we wanted to actually talk about Bad Batch more than Mando, which who would have thunk? But yeah.
Shall we move on to the Mandalorian?
Yeah, I think we've closed out Bad Batch. They're the Dad Batch. Echo leaves Rex. Yeah. But it was cool. We got to see Cody.
Yeah,
I remember
that was cool.
That was probably the best episode, right? The whole Cody and Crosshair like doing badass shit.
Anytime the Crosshair's the focal point,
the best episodes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that one where he went to that snow planet and had to do the rescue, like truly amazing. Really, really nice. So hopefully that's the caliber going into season 3.
Broke me emotionally, but not in a good way. As if there's a good way to get broken emotionally.
He needs to go to therapy now. That's it wasn't great for the mental health.
It's like I get broken emotionally all the time, but this time it wasn't good.
Oh yeah, she did have a grown-up sister, and I called it, and everybody thought I was crazy.
Oh, Zach called it. I remember. Oh yes, that was a whole thing.
People were like, just because they have the same accent doesn't mean they're related. And I was like, okay.
Oh my God, yes.
They gaslit me into thinking I was like an asshole. And then
we had to come back the next stream and be like, you were right. We're sorry. You totally. That was like the final moment, literally the last second of the final episode. Yeah.
They're like, oh, by the way, Zach's right.
Zach was right.
It's just text. Zach was right. And then it fades out.
We ran out of budget for this episode, but Zach was right. All right, Mandalorian season 3.
So the Mandalorian took us back to Mandalore season 3 of the Disney Plus series. The beloved found family of Din Djarin and Grogu returned this year, setting off a new quest to redeem the Mandalorian for the transgression of willingly removing his helmet. The armorer tasked him with bathing in the living waters behind Mines of Mandalore in order to end his exile. And that undertaking reunited him with Bo-Katan Kryze and took fans along for the journey in the storied planet. With a closer than ever look at the life of is that burgeoning? How do you say that?
Yeah, I think so. Burgeoning?
Yeah, burgeoning.
Burgeoning New Republic, the reveal of a pivotal moment in Grogu's past, the return of an old enemy in Moff Gideon, plus dazzling guest stars and an unexpected new beginning for the survivors of Mandalore. Season 3 of The Mandalorian told a can't-miss story for Star Wars fans. Do you agree with that last statement?
I do not. I honestly, in hindsight, because I think when it was on, I was kind of into it. I liked the episode. I liked some of the early episodes, and then I want to say, I don't really remember. They kind of all blurred together, but I want to say there was an episode later on in the season that I really liked. But I think the finale fell flat for me. They played it very safe. I feel like they had an opportunity to do something really drastic and really emotional, and they just didn't do it. It felt very much like, oh, the good guys win and everything's right in the world. And aside from that, I felt like the quality was all over the place. I think that the tone was all over the place. The story was kind of all over the place. I think it was easily the worst season of The Mandalorian, and I hope they can get it back together in season 4, because that was not my favorite. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
No,
Yeah,
that's
I kind of felt like it ended for me after season 3, right? I mean, during season 3, it was in the progress of, oh my god, I'm actually not enjoying this anymore, right? Like it started off at like a high point, right? Ending on the finale of season 2. And then it kind of was just like the hype was still there. You were excited to see where they were going to go with it. And I feel like we made a bunch of predictions that were much better than what we got. I can't remember what we said, but I felt like when we were watching trailers, we were making all these predictions and we were excited and we were hyped. And then it was all like very generic, very basic. And then I felt like we even predicted some of the generic basic moments just as like a joke, but it ended up being real. I felt like that was something that happened
Yeah,
too.
I think the crux of it was that they had an opportunity to pit Din Djarin against Bo-Katan and like milk this really like drama infused, tension infused storyline about like who needs the dark saber to rule Mandalore. What are they going to do with it? How is Bo-Katan going to get this from Din Djarin? They set it up like it was going to be a problem. Moff Gideon created it by yielding to Din Djarin, and then they just didn't do anything with it. He's just like, technically that alien thing beat me in the second episode, and then Bo-Katan beat it. So technically she's the ruler of Mandalore because she possesses the darksaber now by combat or whatever. And it just felt flat to me. It felt like they passed up a great potential story.
Yeah.
What about that? Yeah, we spent a year bracing ourselves for like the civil war of Din versus Bo and like toiling over exactly what you said, the simulated pitting them against each other and what that was going to do. And like everyone was taking teams and whatnot, like during the break, during the interim, like I think we were bracing for a lot more chaos and a lot more like personal vendettas between the two of them. And I think that was an interesting buildup. I forget about that. That is,
I mean,
it is sad. We have so much time to theorize between the seasons that we get so entrenched in our own what we wanted to see.
I do want to say Mr. Fett is spot on here, because the whole point of it was that she has to win it by trial of combat. And I guess technically she did, sure. But again, it was like a very, very heavy emphasis on the word technically, because she basically
that
was
was
just
like
given it again.
It was like it wasn't like a one. It was like a participation trophy. It felt like they just did that thing, so technically they get that, and it was never really like an earned journey towards actually receiving what she was like so hell bent on getting.
You're
and then
so right.
and then it was just like it felt bitter, and it felt like it was stale. It felt like it was safe. I think that's one of the biggest gripes we had. I think was that it was safe. And I do remember Kat. I don't know if this was Kat or Zach or if it was all of us, but I remember we were like theorizing that the armor was going to turn, or that something was going to happen with the armor, that she was working for the other side.
Because there was one of the titles was the spies, so we were all like,
"Oh yeah,
who are
the spies?" I forgot about that. That is 100%.
That's why we thought like the armor, frick, like, oh my gosh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I remember when the finale happened and we had our recap episode. One of us was just like, "So guys, who were the spies? Like, why did they call it that? Who were the spies?"
Oh my god!
Because the armor was like acting super sus like the entire time, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, she just had.
We all owe her a dedicated apology. The way that we all turned on her and we were like, "It's her. It's gonna be her."
No, I think she owes us an apology.
Why are you acting like that?
Yeah, like how about you just like do what we think you're gonna do? That's cooler, because we like that, But again, that was like a small bottom of the barrel issue of the overall story.
What was the point of getting done? Yeah, exactly. It felt like they pivoted what they wanted to do, and I wonder if that has anything to do with behind the scenes, like if Pedro doesn't want to be as involved in the show anymore going forward, or what? Because it did feel very abrupt. Like it felt like they were building him up to be the reluctant leader of Mandalore. I think there was even a line where like someone was talking about how good of a leader he was, or like how he inspires people to rally around him. And then they just did this, like they suddenly turned it into the Bo-Katan show, which is fine. I love Bo-Katan, but I think there are better ways to have done it than the
I
way they
don't
did.
really like what she's become. Like, I do love her too. I agree. I was super excited to see her, but I don't like how I feel like her whole demeanor changed from the first season, and then the second season she's like angry, and then she flips really quick too. Like, I felt like she she probably didn't get the right direction of how to play her character, because I felt like they were telling her two completely different things episode by episode. Maybe I don't even know, because it doesn't quite feel like um she's immersed in the role. I kind of got a vibe in the first season, right? I was like, I love this. I love that she's playing. I love her voice, all this, right? And then I felt like it was just like a bunch of misdirection from the directing or something that kind of left her confused. And she's like, oh, all of a sudden you have it here now. Just act proud and strong and whatever. And I was like, I felt like, it's just the way she's accomplished everything that she was hell bent on receiving wasn't really. It was just like, you've gone through enough. Here's everything all in a row really quick.
Yeah, it did feel I think that the character was fine for me. I just think the way that they approached her goals and like what she got and was it deserved in terms of storytelling? I don't think so, because effectively you bypassed a very tense plot line of like, oh, who's gonna get the Darksaber? Is it gonna be Din or is it gonna be Bo-Katan? And instead you had this villain of the week defeat Din so that you could have this technicality where Bo-Katan defeats that villain of the week in order to get her the Darksaber. And it was just like it was cowardly, I would say. It was cowardly. They took an easy way out to avoid having to ruffle any feathers between two of their biggest characters in the show.
Mm.
And you could make an
Yeah.
argument, like, and Kat, sorry, I'll let you go,
Yeah,
but I was,
no, you're
and
good.
you could obviously make an argument that there's too many cooks in the kitchen, or there's just not enough time on projects, whatever. You can make all these excuses, but I feel like at this point there are no excuses after the entire year that we've gotten, to be honest with you.
Well, we got Andor this year, no?
No, that was last year.
That was last year.
Can you tell which show I'm fixating on? Oh shiz. Wait, shoot, yeah. Well,
God damn.
that's what I feel like we're all on a similar threads, a similar vein. Like I wouldn't mind to see them take more risks, but are they fearful of doing that, knowing the vitriol that they already freaking get from this fandom? Like, we all saw freaking. We're all still talking about Last Jedi, and I would say, Brian Johnson took risks. Like, he was bold. He did things that some people love, but also freaking drew the line and totally PO'd some other people. So it's like, are we ever going to see an era in Star Wars going forward, especially with the streaming, if they want to keep continuity and have a season after season after season and not cancel a show because they took risks and now everyone hates it? Like, is there a future in which they do take a big risk like that again and turn the whole direction of the show to be like, yeah, Din and Bo choose sides and this is going to be the whole fight of the next season? And it, like, we all do like have to then, like, because that would be fun, that would be different, that would be exciting, and for all of it would create like conflict amongst us as the viewers of like, look at these two amazing beloved characters, this is interesting, like this is a whole new story versus like, that's what we all thought was going to happen. That's where all of our brains went and hypothesized for the full year and a half until we got the next season. So, like, do you guys foresee that I don't know. I don't want to say it concrete with such conviction that we'll never see risks like that or like something that bold, but
I don't think we'll see it from a show like The Mandalorian. I think we saw with Andor that they'll absolutely take risks and do the unconventional. But with Mandalorian, where it's such like a big cash cow, I don't know. They're always gonna want to have Din and Grogu together. Nothing bad is gonna ever happen to Grogu. I guess nothing bad is ever gonna happen to Din.
who knows?
Yeah, that's the problem, right? When you don't feel like any of your characters are
In
at risk
danger.
because
Yeah.
they're just going to be written to safety, because you just know that it's going to happen that way. Like, you don't feel immersed because you just know that they can't die. And it kind of, it makes it feel more like a video game rather than a story, because you get through the story dying a bunch of times, but you know that you're going to be okay because the story has to keep going. And because like that's the thing, like I feel like we could always understand exactly where the story was going, which is what the problem was. Like we could always predict exactly what's going to happen because we just were thinking, what's the most generic possible situation that could happen? And how it
Yeah.
could happen? And then that's usually where it would go. And then we were like, wow, well that kind of sucks, and we're kind of sad about that, and that's what kind of made us start questioning a lot of things and start actually having conversations about, hey, this is a big franchise. This is a big company handling it. Why is it that we're not getting the same magic that we used to, right? And why is it that Andor hits hard, and makes you feel, but the others kind of feel like a cheap ripoff or something? Like
I
what
think
has
it's
happened?
no journey. If you
Yeah.
if you think about it, everyone in Andor had something emotionally going on. Versus if you think about it, Din's, I think, biggest emotional journey got resolved after he and Grogu were reunited, and that happened in a different series.
Oh,
Other
that
than,
was
of
the thing.
course,
Which
Yeah.
shouldn't
other,
have happened.
other than, of
It
course,
happened way too fast. Yeah.
redeeming himself, and whatnot. But that happened then in the second episode. But I think it was a detriment to the show that all the emotional journey that it was for Bo-Katan this season, which I'm not saying that was the problem, but she was the only character who really had the most breadth, the biggest emotional journey, where she started like at her lowest, like in the pits, to then being accepted into the this is the way, and
Yeah.
like all of that, and then reclaiming Mandalorian. Like she was the only person who had a really emotional journey that we could be invested in.
Din
versus-
didn't have a journey at all in that season. What was his, like, you're right, Kat. He's the main character. He didn't have a character arc.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
he
even
was
think about
just
that.
he was just
Other
there.
than the redemption, which happened so early.
Yeah,
Was
they
that
did
the second
that.
episode?
This is the second episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
and like
God.
not only that, but it's also like the tone shift from each season is so crazy. And I want to ask chat, for those of you who are saying, it like they're happy with it, whatever. Is the tone shift noticeable to you? Like if you watch season 1 and then you watch season 3, does the fact that they're so contradicting in terms of their tone and how they feel, do you like that, or is it just like you don't even notice it? Because for me, I remember just even the colors too, like the whole Western vibe from the first season was solid. Second season, I felt like when we were talking about it, it was like okay until the end, and then we got super excited, right? And then season 3 just fell flat on almost everything, right? And then there were a lot of contrived things about how this person got there, and then as we already discussed, the writing. And then we randomly got, was Jack Black in Mandalorian? Was it that one? Or was it
Yeah.
something else?
Him and
Yeah.
Lizzo.
Then we randomly got Lizzo and Jack Black for an episode that shouldn't have happened, right? And it's like, okay, what is this? Like, what is going on? And I don't know.
That
Wasn't a fan.
episode in particular was
Took me out.
Yeah, I was just so like, this is not Star Wars. Like, definitively, this was not Star Wars. Like, this is not what I want Star Wars to be. This is not what Star Wars should be. And I feel very objective about saying that. Like, yeah, I don't even remember their character names. They were just Jack Black and Lizzo, and you don't want that. Like you do not want that.
Just them being themselves, and it's like, okay, is this Los Angeles or is this Star Wars? What's happening here?
Yeah, it is interesting if you look at, because it's not like they're the first people to cameo in the universe. There's a whole BuzzFeed article, I'm sure, of like 40 celebs who've cameoed in Star Wars, but you didn't realize it, like people who've been stormtroopers or had one line or something like that in like Force Awakens, but they've done it very, very subtly, or to the point that they're in a costume and you don't know that it's even them. Who was it? Wasn't it James Bond?
Yeah, it was Daniel Craig. He was a stormtrooper.
Yes.
But
Right?
not even just that. Look at Sam Jackson. He plays Mace Windu. Mace Windu is nothing like the typical Sam Jackson character. And because of that, when we see Mace Windu on screen, we're not saying, "Oh, Samuel Jackson fights Palpatine in this scene." It's Mace Windu fights Palpatine in this scene.
True.
When we see Christopher Lee, it's not, "Oh, that's Sir Christopher Lee. He's fighting Anakin." It's Dooku fights Anakin. Like, they've done it tastefully in the past, where they have these megastars come in and play these pivotal characters. But they just, like Jack Black and Lizzo, they didn't even try. They were just and I love Jack Black.
They
I know,
were just
right?
there.
Right?
What I was imagining, you know how he does like his slow motion music videos of him and Kyle Gass in underwear on the beach? Yeah, I was just thinking like I'm waiting for him to just take his clothes off and start dancing in the beat. Like it
Oh
just
my
did
goodness.
not, it did not hit at all, and it was just like a big like out of left field idea that just was like, I remember I think I was traveling when that was happening, and then we turned it on, and
Yeah.
that was the first ever episode where I fell asleep. I
What?
fell asleep during that episode, and then I woke up the
Whoa.
next day, and I was like, "Did I just fall asleep during Star Wars?" And Amanda was like, "Yeah, I did
Oh
too."
my god.
Yeah,
Wow. No, next you put it perfectly. It was like Ed Sheeran in Game of Thrones. Like exactly the same. It's nothing against that person. And also I feel bad bashing on it because like I think Jack Black and both Lizzo have been vocal about how that was a dream come true for them and that was so much fun and they both love
I
Star
don't care.
Wars. But it's like it takes me out. It took me out.
I could care less about what means the world to fucking rich people in Hollywood at this point.
But it's Jack
I
Black.
just I know, but just make good content. Don't do it because it's your dream to do it. If it's not good content, don't fucking do it. I'm sorry. Just don't do it. That's all I have to say. I love you, Jack Black, but just don't do stupid shit. Thank you.
Okay, so before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's give a numerical score to each thing we
Yeah,
talked
I was
about.
about to say that. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go up.
You were
Season
about
2,
to say
Bad
that.
Batch. I was about to say that.
This time we will do it together. We're back, baby.
Oh, I missed that. Zach, I missed you, man. I missed
Yeah,
that.
me too. Me too. Okay, Kat, lead us off. Bad Batch season 2.
Ugh. Take this with a fat grain of salt because, like I said, I
10.
think we all forgot what happened this season. 7 out of 10. That's my gut. It's my gut.
I respect that. I'm gonna give it like a 6. And I feel generous about that.
That's better than I was expecting.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like it's like a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'll probably give it like a 6.5 or something like that.
Look at us.
I feel like
Look at
it's
us.
fresh. It's not rotten. It's definitely fresh.
Fresh.
Okay. Mandalorian season 2.
Oh,
3.
Tarpley gives it a 3. Alice gives it a 2 for Bad Batch.
Damn, Alice.
God.
Alice.
Lay off the Vegemite, mate.
Jesus. That's our queen. Get your
For real. What she says goes.
Yeah, I'm changing my answer to a 2 because of Alice.
Stand corrected.
10 out of 10.
Hey, Queen has spoken.
Or Charlie's always just like not gonna rate. That's just what he does.
I know he's too respectful. I'm
8
still
out of
gonna
10
go.
for Bad. 6 out of 10 for Mando.
I'm still
4 out
gonna
of
go
10.
8 out of 10 for Mando. I think.
Damn, Kat.
Wow, an
I-
8.
I still liked it, and there were moments that I really loved, and I freaking broke down sobbing during Paz's death. I thought that was an electric episode. And you know, we got the Coruscant stuff. Like I did really.
Yeah, we had Paz's kid in that.
I
Remember
enjoyed
Paz's kid? They're just like
Ragnar.
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, he's gone.
What?
What? Dude, we had like that episode. We had like the funniest discussion during that episode. I'm trying to remember what happened. It was
When
like
the dragon came and
they were
snatched
like
him?
they were like camping out. Yeah, like he lost his kid, and they decided to go like camp out and wait it out, and then go travel in the morning when like his kid like just got taken.
Oh yeah, and his
like,
kid, the
yeah.
bird just didn't eat his kid for like an entire
Yeah.
day and a half for some reason.
Oh my god.
Oh,
They needed
okay,
their
so-
rest. They were about to
Okay.
scale the wall.
okay, Kat. Okay, so Kat's 8.
Look at this
Zach.
Disney shill over here. I bet you love The Last Jedi too, Kat.
What was it like acting in Mando season 3, Kat? Tell us all about that.
Wait, what? I wish.
Someone commented that Dupree was in it.
He
Or
was.
that they cut him out. That's cool.
But he did post, I think they're still on his Instagram. He has pictures, he has photographic evidence from his costume and everything. So
Oh, dude, I would believe him.
I think you can
know.
see him in a shot. I think he filmed a lot of other stuff, but I think you can see him in the final shot for Mandalore when all the Mandos are there. I don't know. I think you can. So good for Debris.
I'm gonna give Mandalorian season 3 5 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah, did not like it.
wow.
Did not like it. I don't even feel the need to rewatch it, to be completely honest.
No,
I feel
I
like
agree. It's fair.
I feel like for me, yeah, because I only give Ace to things that I'll rewatch, right? And there's very few things that I've been rewatching lately. So I would give it probably, I feel like it's between like a 5 and a 6 because of Lizzo and Jack Black. I feel like if they weren't in it and they actually built on something else, probably like a 6.5, but it's still not going to make that much of a difference because the overall show is very lackluster from what was previous and from what should be, in my opinion.
Skinny Pete.
Skinny Pete.
That's Church, yo. Who's Skinny Pete? Watch. He's from Breaking Bad, Alice. He's one of Jesse Pinkman's friends, and he's great. Okay, what's next?
What was next after that? Ahsoka?
I think
That's all we got this year.
are they gonna include Jedi Survivor in this?
Yeah, I think they are.
Oh,
You want me to go all the way down?
Let's go in order. I think.
Okay, so they have Celebration. Yeah, okay, they're doing it. So, I think we should, regardless of the order. I feel like we should just talk about Ahsoka in general because you were gone when we had like the big long discussion about it.
Okay.
But the consensus was we pulled up the Rotten Tomatoes score just to kind of get a grasp of what the audience was. And I think it was at like 65 or 66. What was it?
Yeah,
Kat, do you remember? Yeah, so it was relatively polarizing still, even when everyone was like, this is going to be the show that changes everything, right? This is going to be the show that fixes Star Wars, right? And for a moment or one episode or two episodes, it was feeling like it again, right? And then it kind of went back.
It's the number.
Nice.
Sorry. Audience score. 86% critic score.
We should have like a Beavis and Butthead laughing thing.
We don't even need that. We have you two.
So Ahsoka came along. Me and Kat were talking about it. I feel like we both kind of agreed that it didn't quite hit the mark, but there were moments that were rewatchable that kind of made us feel like it was Star Wars again. But still, it was like, what's happening here? And I need to know, Zacharias Maximus, what's your whole consensus of the show now that we're finally live?
My whole consensus of Ahsoka. So I think in our group chats back when it was airing, I was very, very positive about the show. I thought that it was taking risks. It was doing things that felt fresh and different. And I still think that when we go to the different galaxy and we see like just the new planet and like the vibe of it and Thrawn's appearance and whatnot, like that, there were some phenomenal episodes. Not even talking about Anakin, like the Anakin stuff, all brilliant. 10 out of 10 for me. Like I loved how they handled Anakin. Like these the scenes with Anakin, I'm gonna treasure those for the rest of my life, like, to be completely honest. And so Ahsoka, while I think it ended poorly, it could have ended a lot better. I did not like the way it ended. I thought there were too many scenes of them blocking blaster bolts, if that makes sense, in the finale, of just like them
with
waving
awkward angles.
Yeah,
awkward
just
cuts.
Yeah, just waving around lightsabers and blocking like a hailstorm of blaster bolts. Too much of that.
like point blank, like right there. It's just like
it just felt like, like when I was playing outside pretend when I was a kid and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of droids. I'm going to swing my lightsaber back and forth and block all the bolts. That's what it felt like. It felt like they were doing that for too many scenes. And then it just felt like there was a lack of Thrawn's brilliance tactically, which I thought if you don't know who Thrawn is, you're not going to think much of him having watched just Ahsoka. You're going to think, oh, he's just this evil blue dude. But that's not what Thrawn is. And then Baylan was barely in it, which sucks because, the actor died and they'll probably have to recast. But they kind of dropped that plot line in favor of just this long action sequence, which it's just kind of over it. But that being said, all in all, I think I would rewatch Ahsoka. I think it had its lows, it had its highs. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, mostly because of the excitement around the Anakin scenes, to be
That
completely transparent.
that might be the best score you've given anything, Zach.
No, I think Andor is better.
What did you give Andor?
Probably an 8.5.
0.5.
Yeah.
No, I'm in the exact same boat. Watchability, Ahsoka finally felt different. I think we've had Mando. Obviously, Andor was extremely different, but in the kind of universe of Mando and Boba Fett, Ahsoka fit in, but still really stood out. And as you mentioned, Zach, felt like watching completely all new Star Wars at some points because they did take some risks. I actually stand corrected. You're so right. Remembering, was it episode 6? I think when they go to the new planet Peridia, and I remember we were in the group chat and we couldn't even, you were able to verbalize it better than I could. Like, you were more eloquent about how just it's still Star Wars, but it's finally something different, and it was awesome. So yeah, no, I agree entirely. I have some critiques, but I'm willing to let them slide because there was actually there were high points. There were really, really strong points in the show.
Yeah, I think also, I mean, the whole like relationship with Sabine and Ahsoka was a little strange, and I felt like it stayed the same the entire time. Did you kind of get like a kind of stale acting vibe of just repeating the exact
Yeah.
same things over and over and over again without any consequence?
I never cared that much about Ahsoka's relationship with Sabine. I didn't really buy that they were an organic like master and apprentice. A lot of
Yeah.
that stems from the fact that I don't think Sabine should be force sensitive. I think it's pointless. And I don't like how quickly she picks up on it. Like, once it's like opening a door, like once she opened the door, she can just use the force at will now. It's like, that's not how it works. That's not how
And
the force works.
yeah, there's like that whole thing with everyone is force sensitive, it's just you need a good teacher, and it's like, why
I
is that
don't
the
like
new
that.
rule?
Yeah.
Why is that the new rule? Like, why is it that the Jedi were so selective? It's like it's not their hubris, right? It's because there's a legitimate power, right? Like, I was telling Kat, you remember that Luke Skywalker scene in Battlefront where he says, I heard where the he saves a stormtrooper from dying or whatever, and then he says, I heard 100 stories about the Jedi. They scared me as a kid, but you're different or something, right? And it just shows that there was this like ominous unknown cult of the Jedi that not everyone kind of knew about. There were just stories, and everyone was kind of fearful or scary of what they were, who they are. They were just mysterious, right? They weren't just like a bunch of people who thought they were better than everyone else because they put on a cool robe, right? It was like they kind of are wording it like everyone can do this if they have the right kind of person teaching them. I'm just like, well, that's just really dumb. Because why would Palpatine care so much about Anakin?
That is a good point. No, I feel like a lot of the discourse after Ahsoka was people having conflict about what the Force means to all of us, because I feel like it's never been super concrete. It has been like wishy-washy-ish, like, the Force flows through all beings, yes, but like the Jedi possess it, and we've never really seen anybody who wasn't born with it. Like, and so, a lot of people people were really attacking each other over that, but I feel like it's fine for you to interpret, we all interpret the Force differently and how people can access it. So it's definitely, I don't know.
Yeah, like
You're
at this
not
point, it's like midichlorians are like better than that. It's like I don't agree with all of like the dialogue over how the midichlorians are explained in Phantom, but it's just like there's like a barrier of entry. I feel like there was always a barrier of
right.
entry. Now that there
Yeah.
isn't, it's like why does any of it matter then? Like,
Why
who
doesn't
gives a shit?
everyone become a Jedi?
Yeah. Here, everyone gets a trophy. Here, you guys all win. It's like, no, it's not how it works.
Because that's also one of the best parts for us to critique the Jedi Order was that elitism and the exclusivity that is, the underbelly of the organization that we see. I always
Like
talk
they fell
about
from their
the
way, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. As Darth, it's Malgus in the cinematics when he's like, pointing
Like,
out
why is there
that
better writing in the cinematics than in the movies? I don't
they're so good. I love Darth Malgus. They're so good.
like. They're just good at making short form content,
But I
not
think
long form
they're just
content
they're
anymore.
groundbreaking because that one in particular, the what was it called? Uh the latest one where he fights the apprentice and her master, and she has flashbacks to when she was chosen, but her sibling wasn't, and you know, her sibling lived a horrible life because he was neglected and not special, but she got to go on and be a Jedi, XYZ, and Malgus was like, yeah, it's not exactly the greatest practice you thought it was, right? So
I guess that
that's what I
kid should have
love.
tried harder then.
Yeah,
He
just
just
try
didn't
harder,
unlock
dude.
it.
Yeah, what are you
What
doing?
an idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
Why
That's
didn't
just
he
like
why didn't he try harder? Is he stupid?
it ruins the mystery of that cinematic, knowing that he could have done it, he just didn't.
Yeah.
He just didn't
Right?
want it that bad.
It's not
You
that
gotta
he
want it.
might just not have the power to do it. Maybe that's no. It's just that he just can't. He just didn't want to. And it's like, oh well, that ruins the whole emotional depth of that entire story in that little cinematic, right? It's like it
Disorder.
ruins it.
Thank you, Stanley's Disorder is the name. I gotta rewatch it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's great.
He just didn't got that dog in him. He didn't want
And,
He
it.
didn't
like-
have that
but like
dog.
aside from like Sabine using the Force and all that, it's like sure, but she was a Mandalorian warrior who proved herself before that, and I felt like she was good enough as she was without having to be a Jedi or use the Force. And I feel like they're making it seem like you can only be a special hero if you know how to use the Force, and or prove you don't have to know how to use the Force to be a
Mhm.
hero. And I felt like they should have done that here with Sabine, but they just decided to make her a Jedi because she was with Ahsoka or whatever. And I felt like that kind of it didn't hit right. And there was a lot of scenes with Sabine too that I didn't like. I would say I think Kat, we universally agreed. I want to hear what you have to say, Zach. The only scene choreographically that we liked, aside from the Anakin stuff, right, with Ahsoka, was her and
Morgan, the
Morgan,
finale, final
the
fight.
finale.
Yeah.
It
that
was
good.
like it was pretty
It was
cool. Like
amazing.
it was really fast, and it felt like, oh, okay, so we're watching Star Wars now. And we're like, where was this? I don't know, the past 7 episodes.
I do think her conflict with Balin, he gave it freaking his all, and it's so tragic that he's passed
Oh,
because
I enjoyed that one.
he
I
gave
enjoyed the
it
Balin
a
one.
lot. He was so good. He was really good. But yeah, the one with Morgan Elsbeth was on another level. It was like they freaking rehearsed that. It was electric.
I have an issue with the setting of like pretty much every Disney Star Wars lightsaber duel besides I mean ironically the movie I hate the most, The Rise of Skywalker, besides the duel with Rey and Kylo in the water with the waves and I think the settings have been so bland, so like one-dimensional and flat. It's usually just two characters fighting in a flat space, like in Obi-Wan fighting in the Warner Brothers back lot or whatever.
Yeah.
Or in Ahsoka, most of them take place on like a flat plane where there's nothing really for the actors to interact with. It's just because they're using the volume, and it's just it doesn't feel grandiose. It doesn't feel big. Like, and I understand they're shows, so they're not movies, but it just you kind of make lightsaber duels boring. Like there's no environment to really interact with because you're just on like this flat space surrounded by
100%,
screens.
dude. I agree. And when everyone's super, no one will be.
No one is.
That's like the perfect quote too to what's happening, because it ruins everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't give any mystique or any higher tiered power to anyone, because it's like, oh well, just try a little harder there, champ, and you'll be able to be just as strong as Darth Vader. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, Balin. Okay, let's talk about all the things we liked. I liked the soundtrack. I liked Balin. I liked Shin. Honestly, Balin and Shin were like the two things that I really wanted to see more of. That I felt like could have been fleshed out more if the episodes were an hour, but they weren't. And that was another problem I have is with runtime. But we were talking about good things.
Get it together, bro.
Balin, Shin, soundtrack, Anakin,
Thrawn.
the
portrayal?
Thrawn. Well, I liked the way he looked. I had no problems with how he looked. I could care less if it's like not how it looks like in the animation, whatever, because it's him. His voice is great, is phenomenal. The writing was a little iffy, but his entrance was so sick. So the entrance was great.
Oh my God, amazing.
I liked the Balin and Ahsoka, but again, it was in a, like Zach was saying, it was in a relatively flat area. Looked like the desert of California. And then we got, that was the other thing. The whole planet that they were on was like the exact same thing. Most of it was like the same thing, the entire planet. So I was like, just do Tatooine at that point.
No, don't tempt them. They will do it.
You've spoken it into existence. It's too late. They already heard it through the cosmos. It's happening.
This planet they're actually on, it's Tatooine.
Acolyte.
Oh yeah, Tatooine. And then Merrick. Yeah, like they built Merrick up. Or Marok, sorry. Is it Marok?
And then he just got.
He looked so cool. And then
they built him up, and then it's like, oh, he's no one. And it's like, oh.
He was popped like a balloon.
And then I was like, oh, okay, so is he just gonna be revived with dark magic somewhere? Because that looked like some weird Night Sister shit. And then I was like, oh no one talks about it again, and it doesn't matter. I was like, oh, okay. Just make hour-long episodes so we actually can see all this stuff.
Does anybody else feel like Dave Filoni is better when he's got more episodes to like per season to handle? Because what was this, like 6, 8? I don't remember how many.
I feel like he shouldn't write everything. I feel like he's writing too much. Maybe he should like do the things he's passionate about and have like another writer, or have Gilroy, or have someone else kind of build the structure, and then he kind of just oversees it. I don't know, because when he does the things that he's passionate about, it's great, but I feel like he's overwhelmed and he has to like drag things out or do more than he's capable of. He just kind of does it, and there's not a whole lot of thought. Whereas if he had like more people around him, or more people like checking him, I don't know. I just feel like these Disney Plus shows, and this isn't just exclusive to Star Wars. I think Marvel has suffered from this as well. I think they always end too fast, like too abruptly, and they haven't told enough story, and then they realize that, and they try to make up for it in like the last episode by doing 1,000 things way too quickly that they didn't really earn, and it just doesn't feel right. And then they all just end kind of unsatisfyingly. And Ahsoka felt that way to me. I remember, I think we were talking about it in the group chat where we were like, how do we only have one episode left? There's so much we haven't addressed, and it turns out they're probably going to do season 2, I guess. So at least there's that. But I don't feel like a well-paced season should be like that, where you have so many unanswered questions and so much unresolved plot left in one episode to go. Yeah, let's talk about that finale. I think, Kat, we talked about this. I want to get your opinion on it again. But do you remember we were talking about how maybe because they're in a different galaxy, time works differently. So by the time they got back to the known galaxy, it was so far in the future that like the sequels were done and everything. So it was like a whole new space or whatever to work in.
Nobody lives on Coruscant anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's like a what if, but it isn't, because now it's canon because it's so far in the future or something.
It's not a what if, it's what is.
What is.
What is.
It is. Oh my god, wait, that's right. So who was it? Did somebody pitch that in the chat, or was that what you had? Did you have a hunch, Alex? That
was it me that said it? I don't know who said it.
I remember. I think maybe somebody in the chat said, not gonna lie, I
read it. I read it somewhere.
They traveled back. They were going to go back, and it was going to be in the future, because you would think time travel between two galaxies that supposedly you need the biggest freaking hyperspace ring of all time to transport between you. It wouldn't be out of the question that maybe there could be a giant time gap, but really they got back. And it was, same page.
It was the exact same page. Yeah, and then you hit there and you're like, oh wait, Dave Filoni's doing a First Order movie, so there's no way, right?
It would have been so sick if they had gotten back and had that like Planet of the Apes kind of scene where it's like, oh my god, like this isn't the same time
Oh my
period.
god. The universe would be the fandom would have broken, like in a good way. Like all of our brains would have been
Like
blasted at the
Hera's
same
just
time.
long gone. Everyone's just dead,
Oh
and it's a
my
completely different
god.
civilization or something. I don't know.
Jesus.
Or imagine if somehow they went into the past or some crazy crap like that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh,
Like it's the Old
or they're
Republic.
stuck in the past, or they're stuck in the High Republic or some shit or something. Yeah.
Oh my god. They went the wrong direction. Oh, dang. Oh my god.
But no, they're trying to salvage the sequel trilogy, and I am of the firm opinion that it cannot be done. I don't think they can Clone Wars it. There's no way.
But we would love to be proven wrong.
We would love to. I don't know. I don't even think I do. I just want to move on, to be honest.
Sorry.
You need to lay off
I'm
the
just tired
cigarette.
of this era. I know, stop smoking, Cat. I'm just tired of this era. We need something else. Yeah. Well, I also I definitely feel that Star Wars is in some ways is becoming like Marvel content, where Disney is trying to push out as much content between these two fandoms. Yeah, there is
a
that.
fatigue.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be a fatigue if the content was as good as if there was a 3-year gap between movies, right? Because the quality is drastically different between the films, right? The sequel trilogy looks so much better than any TV show, but the story is still the same, which proves as long as you have a good script, it doesn't have to look insanely good. It just needs to be well done, right? And actually, no, never mind. Andor does look like a film, so
Yeah, Andor
never
is
mind.
an exception.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. We don't have to dwell on it for too long, since I know we still have to cover Survivor, but I saw some discourse on Twitter the other day about how we've accepted the norm to be that you wait 2 years now between seasons of your favorite show, and that's kind of just been almost forced upon us when that wasn't the thing. But now we've kind of that's come to be normalized, and it happens across all platforms, and it kind of started originally with like the Game of Thrones final season. It was like, okay, we have to earn that, but it would be worth the wait, however you feel about how it ended up, is, you know,
Spoiler
regardless.
alert. It wasn't.
But do you think that is, you know, like a detriment to the way we ingest this media now, specifically Star Wars? Like, even though we're getting shows in between, but like, you know, here we are now. It's going to take forever for Andor. Of course, the strikes are different. That's going to affect things differently. But like, I think it creates so much more room. Like, yeah, we are used to now. That's become normalized that we wait and wait and wait. Now for the films, it's like going to be 10 years by the time we get another. It will have been almost like 10 years by the time we get Star Wars back on the big screen in theaters again for a feature film. But like, do you think it's a detriment that we freaking wait? Yeah. And then we only get the 8-episode payoffs. And then it's like, okay, see you again in like 2 years.
Are you asking if it's worth it? Is that
I guess. Yeah. Like it opens it up. The more time there is to dwell on things, it's like it better be worth it by the time we get there. And like, I don't know if the current content is. Don't hate me. Y'all know I'm a shill. But like it made me think. I don't know. I saw other people talking about this and it made me think. It's like, yeah, why should we totally accept the fact that we have to wait this long between our shows? And then sometimes, you know, it's not the most fulfilling.
In 2 years we could all be dead. It's the truth.
Technically.
I mean, yeah, technically. But I think when you put it like that, was it worth it? Was Mandalorian season 3 worth waiting 2 years for?
No.
Was I guess that's the only one that has multiple seasons as of right now. But I would say no. I would say very much no.
Yeah, I feel like it just sets it up for no, everyone. Wow, that got dark.
I'm at the point. I'm honestly at the point now to where it's like I don't want them to do. If they're gonna do Old Republic, it has to be like a movie, because I have no faith that they're gonna make an 8 episodes of beautiful TV with the Old Republic, and now that's gonna be tainted, and we're watch. We're gonna go back to the Old Republic cinematics and just keep watching those over and over again because
That's
it's
the
like
other thing. We can't even. It's 8 episodes, measly 8, sometimes 6. We can't even get 10 or 12 episodes anymore unless it's
Yeah.
Andor.
yeah, if they go the Andor route with Old Republic, great, But I don't think there's enough. There's enough of like a. I'm sure their focus groups are like, "What's Old Republic?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, we can't do that." Yeah.
Puppy. Like and
Oh, it's amazing.
subscribe for the dog alone, even
Like
if
and
you
subscribe
don't
for the
like us.
puppers.
Like and subscribe.
Puppy. No, you gotta look in the
Is Amanda
camera.
still watching?
Okay, she just wants to lay on my lap.
Oh, stop! I want a streaming buddy.
She is my child. I would die for this dog.
I am flexible. That's cool. No, I'm just kidding. I am flexible. I'm an OG fan who was waiting for each chapter of the OT back in the day. So if waiting is what is on the table, so be it.
All right, I respect. Level-headed, I like it.
Waiting
I
for
would be
quality.
okay. I would be okay with waiting 3 years.
That's the original,
for every Star Wars,
It was
for every
different.
Star Wars piece of content. Like Dune, I have to I'm
Yes, I know you've been
Dude-
wanting to talk about it.
Dune has been the only thing that I've been watching over and over again, and I can't get enough of it. I'm so excited for part 2, and I feel like when it comes out, it's not going to be a letdown because it's going to fill up everything that we could possibly have expected, and it's again one of those franchises and one of those films that's real cinema, and it gets down to like the heart and soul of the content that it's taking from, and that's what Lucasfilm is like heavily lacking now. They're just grabbing silhouettes of the IP and kind of throwing it out there with as much money as they can without really quality controlling or quality checking any of it. But and on paper it looks good and it should do good. But then when it gets down in the slums of us normies over here watching their content, we're just sitting there like, wow, we don't like it. And then they're like, oh, why don't they like it? Oh, it's for all of these reasons, not that we made bad content, right? And I don't know. I'd say just make movies, or make one movie every 3 years, and make one TV show every year, and make sure it's quality or something. I don't know.
See something Star Wars on the scale and the grandeur that Dune has. Oh, you need to frickin' finish. Did you say you had started Messiah, or you were in the middle of reading it? Regardless, you need to frickin' read it and have your world be rocked. That's all I'm gonna say. Especially since it's heavily rumored that they're
reading it.
I'm on to the 5th book now. Y'all got me freaking hooked. You guys freaking roped me in. So it's peak sci-fi.
Kat's been reading it the entire stream, actually. She's currently
yeah, I haven't heard a word.
She's just saying random things and hope that it correlates to what we're talking about.
So far, it's worked out.
But anyway, okay, we're getting down to the end of the news. Okay, we had the Daisy Ridley announcement, obviously, for the films, which was kind of like a very
like that's what you're doing.
It was a very polarizing moment online, but when you're there, dude, there was way too many yes people in the crowd, right? It was like so loud, and I was like, okay, so I guess everyone here is a sequel fan, or they're just screaming because they get to see Daisy Ridley in person. I couldn't figure it out. Which, like I said, it's not a good litmus test to figure out where the fandom's at. And then you go online and
one
you
of
see
them?
everyone. Yeah, I was screaming. I was screaming bloody murder at seeing the whole Clone Wars cast walking by me. That's what I was screaming about. But it was an interesting moment, right? And I will say, like, the people saying, "Oh, no one clapped or no one screamed," it's like the biggest lie ever. Everyone was like that entire panel was so loud. Yeah, it was so loud and it was crazy. I was like, wow, she's getting really good reception. Like, this is crazy.
Even like if you don't like, I feel like as a fan, we're hopefully getting better about, like, even if we don't like the cat. Well, actually, no, I'm gonna eat my own words before we even get them out, because we all know the way Moses Ingram was treated. So I'm gonna take it back now. But I don't know. Even if you dislike Rey and all of her writing, you know it's not Daisy Ridley's fault. You know it's the role that was written for her that she had to perform. So like I would hope that even if you hate Rey as a character with all your guts, that people would still recognize that she, you know, received so much critique to the point that she was drawn off of social media for the duration of the sequel trilogy until it was ended. And so I'm glad she got such a warm welcome, because even if you don't like Rey, I would hope that a lot of people there, regardless of their feelings, would applaud her and want to welcome her back, because I'm honestly still shocked that she is coming back so soon after like she dropped off social media. Like she really, you know, protected herself from this crazy phantom. So I'm glad that she's coming back.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that they're like this is gonna be their first movie that they make. I probably would have done something else. I've always said I'm okay to see Rey again. I just think maybe it would be smart for Disney to try to do something else first, instead of going right back to Rey.
Yeah, like doubling down on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna reserve judgment for when I watch the movie. I'm not gonna say a bad thing about this movie because it could be amazing and hopefully it is. I want nothing more than to like Rey. I just think strategically,
we don't want Star Wars to fail.
No, I just think
popular belief.
I think strategically, I would have put out the first Jedi movie before the Rey movie.
Yeah, the First Order is the first one coming out, right?
I don't know. I thought it was no. I think the Rey movie is coming out first.
I think so. Whichever one comes out has a lot of weight on its shoulders. Like whichever one it's gonna be, it better be good. Like for the first theatrical release. At this point, we don't even have. There's not even projected release date, right? Everything is still up in the air. I don't even know. I could be wrong, but
yeah, wasn't it like 2026? 2020,
which I'm still hesitant to believe. Yeah. Jaeger says
so
coming out
far away, but if it's great, you know, then so be it. I'm fine. I'm tired of constantly getting content that just is subpar or not great. But we got so next year we'll talk about Survivor after, but next year we got Acolyte, and then Andor season 2. Actually, no, it was delayed.
2025. Right?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, so no.
When did this happen?
This is recently, because of the strikes and everything. I think is
God damn us creative people for causing. Why? How could the creative people have done this?
Why couldn't you guys just accept your 10 cents in a sandwich?
How could the writers and actors have done this?
Oh, unfortunately, that's what the perception will be. The fallout when everyone's favorite shows are delayed. That is probably going to be like, why actors? Why? Oh, I know.
Yes,
I know.
So it'll be Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, Bad Batch, and Tales of the Jedi.
Honestly, out of all of that, I'm looking forward to. It's a toss up between Acolyte and Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Skeleton Crew.
Acolyte could be incredible, or it could be like but I think Tales of the Jedi is going to be a banger no matter what, because it's what Filoni does best.
I would bet money on Skeleton Crew being thoroughly not great.
What if it's the best one? We should like.
I don't believe.
Watch Skeleton Crew be like the best thing.
Think this show is going to effing. I've still. All right. I won't do it. I won't do this again. I went on a rant when Tom and I did a stream, but all I'm going to say is this. We are all freaking dedicated Star Wars fans here. I freaking run a Star Wars dedicated YouTube channel. And I couldn't tell you jack diddly squat about Skeleton Crew or freaking anything. And this show is supposed to come out next year. And I, a dedicated Star Wars fan, I don't freaking know shiz about this show. That's not the way this. I'll curse if I keep talking.
Do it,
Kat. Do it.
No, I can't. I only curse in my member-only streams. Sorry. Members only get to hear me cuss. But that is effing wrong, if you ask me. That's
only
shambles.
Members get to hear you cuss. There's a paywall.
Kat feels so much better than all of us right now.
Oh my God.
Our ears aren't worthy to hear her curse words.
No, I just try to maintain family. We won't tell anyone. It's gonna be on the internet forever. No, I just
Give her money and she'll curse for you guys. That's,
yeah.
that's the moral of the story.
Stop. That sounds so awful. Join my memberships and you'll hear me curse. Stop. No, wait, that's so bad. All I'm saying is
Cat cusses ASMR.
It should not be this way. I still don't even have faith this show is going to happen because we have nothing. They stepped up their marketing so much for Ahsoka. Let's keep that up. All right, instead of turning this into a critique, I'm going to turn this into encouragement. Freaking whoever took over for Ahsoka, keep it up. Keep the momentum going. Let's get that energy for Acolyte and Skeleton Crew so I can finally know what the frick this show is about. Please, I'm
feel
begging.
like
We don't have any trailers.
I feel like they
don't even
know
know.
that nobody's gonna care about this, which begs
is
the
why
question,
there's no
why
trailer?
did you make it? If it feels like they're not like proud of it or whatever, like they're not trying, because if they thought it was dynamite, right? They'd be marketing it more than they are right now.
Whoa.
That's what a lot of people are saying about The Last Airbender because we don't hear any of them speak. They're worried about like the performances.
Oh, I've
And I'm
been
like-
worried about that show since the
Eh,
original creators left.
and then seeing the instead of posting like clips or anything, they're posting cool images, right? And I'm like thinking like, yeah, sure, things can look great, but they can still suck. Like give it like modern gaming looks great, but it
Any
sucks.
Zack Snyder movie ever.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how Army of the Dead got like 69% or 70% or whatever.
I like that movie. It's
Kat,
fun.
I don't want to offend you, Kat, but that movie was hot garbage.
No, like I listen.
The concept was great, but the way it was carried
Execution.
out was. I will say, oh, have you guys seen Death Metal? Or wait, no, what is it?
I know what you're
Is
talking about. It's
you know what
that
I'm talking
old,
about?
that old like PlayStation game.
The Peacock one, I think. I think it's on Peacock.
I don't have Peacock.
I think what is it on? Twisted Metal.
Twisted
Metal.
Metal.
Yes. Yes. You guys see that?
I need a refresh. I've heard of it.
Oh, it's great. It's a good time.
Twisted Metal. What the heck?
Yeah, you guys, dude, Kat, you would love it. You liked
Is
you like
Anthony
that one-
Mackie in it? Am I looking at
Yeah.
the right? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Anthony Mackie's in it. Yeah, it's great.
Interesting. Oh, cool. All right. Interesting. I have yes. Is
Definitely
this
watch
based
it.
on?
It's based on a true story.
The world ended.
Yeah, you
2,000
missed it,
years
Kat.
ago.
While you were on
Yeah.
strike, you missed it.
This is what the streets of LA were looking like.
Is this a biopic of for all you on the East Coast? This is what LA was like. So, yeah,
Yeah, whoever said LA is the scariest place they've ever been, you're right.
in a world.
Oh god.
Anyway,
Deal.
watch that. And
Jedi
then
Survivor?
we also have we'll go into Survivor, and then I gotta go watch to see
Rebel
if it's gonna be any good.
Moon.
Rebel
Oh
Moon,
wait.
yeah.
Yes.
So we got the man himself, Cal Kestis, Jedi Survivor, and BD1, the homie. Oh, and then we got the announcement of Outlaws.
Oh yes. Is that coming out
it's
2024?
It's the sex icon.
Yeah. Look at Dad right there. Look at those mechanical legs.
Look at that snatched waist.
Yeah.
The
Snatched
thin little
face.
waist with the trench coat.
Realistic beauty standards.
Star Wars. Is that your dog?
Yeah, she's
That
trying.
was that
She
puppers.
is biting my feet because she wants me to stop streaming and pay attention to her.
Oh.
Puppy.
Come on, support the pod, girl. The rips.
It's
droid.
because there's other lightsabers in it, and there's like Nazi uniform looking things. And I'm like, I gotta see it.
That's what you're. As long as movies hit those two things, you're gonna watch them.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna provide any context. You guys can-
Specifically that
you guys can-
criteria.
You guys can think however you want about me.
No, I am actually excited to hear your guys' opinions. I haven't watched it yet either, but I trust your guys' film knowledge to help steer my opinion in the right direction. So,
Army of the Dead was 80% and Critics was 20% when it first opened. So it's like the same thing right now as it was.
let's go.
um,
Okay.
As it was
Okay.
Army of the Dead. So critically everyone hates it, but the audience loves it. So
Still likes
we'll
it.
see what you think, Kat.
And I liked Army of the Dead. So all right, this is good.
So you'll probably
Bodes
like
well.
it. You're like, whoa. Oh yeah. Did you guys see
Whoa. Jesus.
Oh, you saw it?
Whoa.
I guess she saw it.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh my
She's
god, I
just
love
excited about Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary. She wants to
We're
talk
gonna
about
have
it.
to get her. We're gonna have to get her a mic for the next episode of the pod so she can weigh in.
Just have a little like dog mic, and it's just like obnoxiously licking the entire time. So cute.
So sweet.
She's just a baby. Ow, that hurt. You asshole. Jesus. That hurts so bad. What?
You went from she's just a baby.
Ow, you little bastard.
She bit me too hard. So what can I say? She crossed the line.
You need to take it, Zach.
Next,
What
cross
happened?
the line. What's that sound bite? Listen here, mother ever. You just crossed the line. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm just gonna let Kat write it out. I just have to let Kat write it
No,
out.
please keep talking, otherwise I'll just the
I always
split-
enjoy breaking Cat once an episode for one reason or the other.
Did you kids do your duty and go see Return of the Jedi in the theaters?
No, I didn't.
No.
What is wrong with you?
Well, hopefully it'll be out for anniversary next year, right? Or was it this year? Do we miss it?
It was.
Oh,
This
it was
year.
this year. F.
You have to wait another 20 years, Cat.
God dang
I should have like
According
an
to
AI
you.
just like curse for you.
it. I wish I had
Like,
a real life bleeper. Like I need to get a real bleep thing to use in real life.
you just hold the bleeper while you go on a rant. Yeah.
Freaking skeleton crew.
Or we could just edit this afterwards and just act like you're just a potty mouth and just bleep everything you say.
That would be so funny. That's the
If you showed Kat a picture of Skeleton Crew, Bigfoot, and a unicorn, she would say it's the same picture.
Oh my god, that's so true.
It's so
Stop.
fluffy, I'm gonna die.
I forgot about Visions.
I still haven't watched it. Okay, phew.
Oh, look at you. Zach, you should watch Visions. You love it. How can you not have watched Visions yet? And we're in the same boat, Kat.
No, I know. I'm bad. The problem is it's hard with Visions because I never saw anyone talking about it. So it's like, It's one of my biggest joys of Star Wars is when the episodes come out, and then I can go online and converse with people, one-sided, meaning I just read other people's tweets. But I need to. I will. Have you even watched season 1?
You're like, I don't even watch
No, I
Star Wars. I
haven't.
just look at tweets of what people say about it and then form my own opinions.
Oh my
Stop it.
god.
I liked season 1. I really liked season 2. I found a lot of the stories in season 2 hit me a lot more than season 1, but both are great. We have the guy who plays Ozai in the live action was one of the villains in one of the shorts.
No way.
So you get
Wasn't
to
he
kind of
in
hear,
Lost?
yeah, the homie.
Sick, dude. So
What's
okay.
it's nice that you have no expectations of Atla though, because if you were like going into it thinking it was going to be the best thing ever, and then it actually ends up being hot garbage.
Not only do I have no expectations, I would say I expect it to be bad. Not as bad as like obviously the movie that came out a long time ago that we don't need to talk about, but I don't know, man. Like it says a lot when like the
That was
original
2010.
Jesus
God.
Christ. It
Don't
says a
don't
lot.
Feel
say
old?
that.
Yeah,
Don't say
man.
that.
Those child actors from that movie are on like welfare right now, probably.
Oh
Yeah.
my
That's
god.
how long ago it was.
Well,
Um,
Katara's dad's a billionaire, so
Yeah, Nicola Peltz
yeah.
is doing okay, and she
Yeah.
married into the Beckham family, so she's all right.
yeah.
Jasper from Twilight, I actually haven't seen him in a movie since. What's he
Oh
done?
my god.
What's he done? Maybe.
Oh my god, that was Jasper from Twilight. Oh
Oh
my god, that's hilarious.
And listen, that could be by choice, you know? It could be his personal choice.
Like Hayden.
Exactly.
I mean, that is something that you say if you don't get any more anything else after your big one.
Jackson
You're like,
Rathbone, that's his name.
what a name.
I know, right? He's a goat. Anyway, I want to hear more about your skepticism here, Zach, because you're helping to keep me real. Because I saw the trailer and I'm like, hype, but I still want to. The creators leaving. I know.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. That's the sticking point for me. If they were just like, we're leaving due to creative differences, that tells. When has that ever worked? When has that ever gone well?
I mean, Solo wasn't horrible. But
they didn't create Han Solo. Like, you know what I mean? True. Like, this would be like if George Lucas walked away from a Star Wars project and said, "I'm leaving due to creative differences." You would feel not great about that.
But I think they specified.
He kind of did. He only just got $4 billion for that. Disney was like, "Here, you want a collab?" He's like, "Not really." It's like, "I want $4 billion." Oh, okay. We have creative differences. You can go do your thing.
Which one?
Which one? Oh, no.
Oh, no. So you don't want $4 billion? No.
Oh, Ewan.
I truly wonder what an alternate universe where George Lucas doesn't sell Star Wars looks like. Like, I wonder what content we get in the same amount of time period where George Lucas owns it.
We would have.
There is no last Airbender movie in Ba Sing Se.
Stop. I'll be actually so honest. I've never actually watched that full M. Night Shyamalan version, but I'm tempted to film a reaction.
Oh, fucking hell. We should do a recorded reaction and just you can watch it for the first time and me and Zach can just sit there like, oh, fuck.
I've never seen it. I would be watching it for the first time.
Oh, really? Oh, so
yeah.
Wait, double reaction.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Oh, that could be fun.
Yeah. We've never filmed anything all of us together in the same place. We should make a video at some point.
We should. Wait, Zach, yeah. We're in closer proximity now. Let's totally film a reaction together. I'm serious.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Yeah. I'm saying we can even do it like this, only we don't.
No, not you. Just Kat and I. You've been voted off the island.
Well, and that's the reason why I'm not on the. In case you guys know, I'm not on the thumbnail because I'm leaving due to creative differences.
Oh no, that never works out well.
The real reason Evil Ewok broke up, not clickbait.
Yeah,
you will cry.
Anchorman. What?
I don't know what that means.
It's a trap. Somehow it's a trap.
Do it.
I'm not doing it. Colin Trevorrow got fired, I'm pretty sure, because Disney saw that one movie he made that was terrible, and then they decided to revoke his directorship of.
Just like they revoked the Benny Weiss and. All right, what was his name? Benioff and DB Weiss.
Yeah,
those guys. Their Star Wars show.
Throwback.
Actually got fired.
Alex got a record deal. Yeah, I'm gonna sing now, even though no one's ever heard me sing before.
Broke up like the Beatles.
Oh, I learned a lot about the Beatles recently because I'm not even a Beatles fan because I'm doing a documentary on them, and I knew nothing about it going in. And afterwards, I'm like, wow, the Beatles were only the Beatles for like 5 years,
and they put out so much music.
Yeah. Like, that's crazy to me. I did not even realize that.
Yeah. No, when I was like a little kid, the Beatles were my favorite of all time. And when I was a child, I thought that the breakup ensued after all the tragedy struck. Like John Lennon was assassinated and George Harrison passed away. And then my mom was like, no, they broke up on their own accord. And I was like, what? Like, broke my heart. So, but yeah. No.
Who's your fave? Who do you stand?
Oh, Ringo, because we have almost the same birthday. His birthday is the day after mine, so I always telepathically think about him, even though I know he doesn't know I exist. But I don't know. I love him.
There's
He
a
could-
non-zero chance he's seen Shards of the Past.
Maybe.
You know what?
There's a non-zero. I
Well-
mean, 28 million people have seen it, Kat. There's a chance.
Who knows? If he's a Star Wars fan, who knows?
I remember my sister and I watched this awful movie from like the 70s called Caveman, and it stars Ringo Starr. And the whole time they just speak in gibberish.
Wait, is
and,
that what South Park skit is based on?
I have no idea, but it was like this random movie we got for like $5 at Target, and
Nice.
it is truly terrible.
I need to. Oh, there he is. This looks fun. And also very
Yes.
old CG. Yo, I gotta find this. I'm gonna watch this.
Based
33%
off of
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's
based
based off
off
of
of
a
everything.
true story.
Based off of everything I've heard and seen about all of them, I think George is probably my favorite. But I've
Oh,
noticed
he's-
everyone
Was.
loves Paul.
He's a goat as well. They all are. They
No one
all-
likes John because he was a kind of a POS.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I mean, well, they also blame his wife.
Oh, that's a whole. That's a
Yeah.
whole can of worms.
All right, so Star Wars.
So anyway, okay, we'll
Those
do
high butter.
we'll do the last ratings for all of them. We didn't really talk about Survivor, but it's okay. Okay, so we did that.
Did we do Ahsoka?
Yeah.
did Ahsoka.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, Survivor. Okay, we should just do. Are you excited for any of the 3 films announced?
Frick yes! I'm freaking anything. Bring back Star Wars on the big screen.
Okay. You're excited about everything. Zach is there.
Zach is just there.
Jedi Survivor. What out of 10? What would you guys give Jedi Survivor?
6.5.
What?
I thought it was okay. I didn't play it. I just watched the all the cinema. You need to relax.
Oh,
She disagrees with you heavily.
She loved it.
yeah, she's calling you out.
Luna, stop it, baby. You stop it.
I give it mental distraught / breakdowns aside from the a million times it took me to try to beat Ravis. I would give it 8. I think I still liked.
Oh yeah,
Fallen
I watched
Forward.
you. I watched you just like spend like 5 hours to kill one boss, and I was just like, you should just give up at this point.
I was on
Was
the brink.
Did she?
Instead
Did
of like
she
empowering you.
Did she utter the classic? Whoa!
Whoa! She did.
Oh,
She did the
God.
classic. Oh!
Cut and
so
put this in the background, and it would be the same. Ugh. But yes, no, I still like Fallen Order a little bit better.
Yeah, the intro sequence to Fallen Order is like one of the greatest ever, and then a lot of the cinematics are some of the greatest ever. Jedi Survivor is probably like a 7 for me too. I actually played it, but I noticed that like while I was streaming it, I was like, wow, I'm like really bored. Like I don't game as much as I used to, so playing a video game for like 2 hours was like so draining for me, and I was like, wow, what happened? We used to be able to just play Pokemon for like 12 hours a day and have no problems.
We're just not built the way we used to be.
I opened up my SP though the other day and started playing Pokemon Emerald. I was like,
Nice,
wow,
dude,
they don't make
nice.
games like this anymore.
They don't. They have much better graphics now.
Yeah, but they're not as fun.
I think it might be a bit of that, and it might be a bit of us. I just don't have time to play video games as much as I used to, and that I think kind of saps the enjoyment out of it because I mentally know like I can't get immersed or invested as much as I want. You need to stop biting me.
Shit on your mind. Yeah, I haven't played StarCraft in like a month.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I don't know what I'm
crazy.
supposed to do with myself. I
A
should
lot for you. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Who are you, and what have you done with Alex?
mentally know. I'm figuring it out.
Good vibes heading into the end of the year, everybody. Good vibes. Mentally, we're all not okay.
We're all in a dark place.
Oh wow.
Spinal
Final
fusion
fusion
surgery.
surgery within the next 2 to 4 years.
Oh.
Hope everyone is doing well. Well, blessings to you. And
Indeed.
Yeah, I hope
all
it goes
turns out
well.
Yeah.
Damn. Happy holidays,
Yes.
If that's your name, it's a very cool name too.
Aries.
Aries. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And then we got Survivor, Outlaws. Are you excited about Outlaws aside from,
Heck yeah.
all the extra content that we're gonna find later?
Oh
on?
yeah, I'm excited about it. Have you
My God. Goodness
Nice.
gracious.
And then obviously, Return of the Jedi was okay. It's you would expect it to be much better than it was, but I'd give it a solid,
you know what?
6 or 7 out of 10.
You know what I think they need to do with Return of the Jedi? They need to make 30. Just roll with me on this one. 30 years after, they need to come out with a new trilogy, and the last movie of that trilogy needs to end in virtually the same way that Return of the Jedi ends, but worse, but like a lot worse. I think that'd be a good idea.
Sorry, I cut you off, Zach. I was reading the thirst trap comments for.
Oh no, I'm right there with them.
I think you're onto something.
We could call it
But-
the sequel trilogy.
But what I have to say about that is,
I think it's too much.
I want to know who the artist was that like pitched that. It's just such a bad idea.
I wonder if he was trolling. I wonder if he was like, I gotta see if I can get a reaction out of George Lucas.
And he was promptly fired.
Can this stream have a talking teddy bear in it?
Ted the Bear.
No.
We can start with Zach's dog. We'll train her first.
She's absolutely abusing my feet right now. Stop it. Ow, that hurts so bad. You need to stop.
She's just a baby. You asshole. I need to go and clip that just for my aunt's enjoyment.
How could we forget about Star Wars?
Oh yeah, my favorite show.
Classic.
I love
Probably one
Teddy
of the
Bear
greatest
Yoda.
of all time. He's just so adorable.
Is it essential? Is it like essential to watch? Has anybody seen it? Has anyone here seen this movie?
It connects to the lore.
Ow!
Really.
Jesus!
Sorry, Zach. I'm laughing at your expense.
I am being abused.
And who could forget the HasLab vintage book?
Oh, the ghost with
No one could
Hera.
forget that. Yes. The General, which doesn't look like either of the Heras that we know. Anyway, on to, I don't know what this is. Did you guys see this? Did you guys read this? No?
No.
Okay. Oh, and that happened. I'm not going down there.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm not going down.
Yeah, I refuse to watch it.
No, you can't chew the microphone. Are you kidding me?
These are your first steps. Okay. Well, okay, so that about sums up the best of Star Wars. Well, wasn't the best year, but I don't know if it's
Wasn't the worst.
year.
Hey, we got stuff
I don't know if it's
at the end of the
good
day.
year. Would it be a good year for Star Wars, or would it be a I don't know year?
I think it was a little better than okay year.
It existed. It was a year. It was a year. It was the year.
Yeah.
It was a year, not the year. Yes, exactly.
I am going to sound cliche, but I know that these times will not last. And according to Zach, we could all be dead in 2 years' time. 2 years from now. So I know there will come a time where we don't get frequent Star Wars content anymore.
What about Kenobi?
And so I'm
Kenobi
grateful
was
that we
last
at
year.
least. Yeah. It all just blurs together, doesn't it?
Hello there.
Classic.
I love him. Not after Kenobi though. It doesn't exist.
It always comes back to Kenobi, doesn't it?
Alice, I also thought Andor was this year, so we're in the same boat. Same boat.
Oh, man, this year, all the years at this point, all the years just I don't even know what year is what anymore. It's all jumbled and crazy. After 21, it just doesn't even matter. I'm just gonna be a nihilist now on stream.
All right, can you tell
Think
we're all
nothing
mentally
matters.
unwell?
Yeah, it's been
It's
been a long
over.
day, but here's to next year. Hopefully, it's great and everyone loves each other and
And we'll
Should
finally
we-
learn what Skeleton Crew is
them
about.
unites.
Should we place bets on Skeleton Crew if it's gonna happen or not?
When is the trailer? When are we? Because there was a trailer allegedly at Celebration this year. No, so when are the rest of us plebes getting this
Wait.
trailer?
When is it coming out?
Wait,
I don't
no, there
know.
wasn't a trailer. There was
First look.
was it a clip or was it photos? I don't even remember.
I thought I
Oh.
saw a picture of Jude Law, and they were like, "It's a Skeleton Crew," and I was like, "Great, that's Jude Law." I still don't know what this is
There
about.
was footage. Okay, yeah, never mind. I'm not excited. I remember now. Yeah, we got to see footage and stuff. It's about kids.
You forgot about it this whole time we were talking
Yeah.
about it. You forgot that you would see.
I
Here
remember.
I am,
it was
raging my brain off, saying I don't know what this is about. And
If
Alex has
only there
made
was
it.
someone present that could provide details. That would just be great.
I'm sorry. I thought it was something else. I remember now.
God.
Yeah, I mean, it could be great, but I'm not optimistic. I remember I saw Acolyte, the trailer, and I was, or like a first look, and I was like, okay, looks like they're a little bit more aggressive, and this is going to be a little bit more highly intensive with the saber combat. But I mean, good to see the finished thing. So
Yep.
anyway, does that conclude it? Do we have anything else?
Yeah, I think that's about it. We've gone 1 hour and 40 minutes on
Yeah,
our
Amanda's
welcome
gonna
back
kill
stream.
me. She's probably asleep. She likes to do
Right.
that whenever I work too long. She just pretends like she's asleep, so she gets all mad at me and everything.
Amanda's gonna be mad. Zach's dog's been biting his
My
ankles
dog
this
has
whole
been
time.
killing me.
Well, fun times back,
How's
everybody.
it going for you, Kat?
It's like
also
Tom's been
maybe
biting my leg
sleeping.
all day. Tom's just under. And he's like, "Oh, hi guys." So he just walks away.
Oh
I'm
my
like, "Okay."
goodness.
And then I'm like,
That
"Wait,
was
I was joking, but
That was a
It's a real
completely
thing.
normal thing that just happened.
yeah." So is 7 o'clock good with everyone? Is there any way, Zach? You work till like 6 something, right? So there's no.
No,
way.
I get home at 6.
Okay.
That's such a
But-
quick turnaround.
Yeah, but I'd
so
like.
7's the only one that really works.
Yeah.
Unless we do later, but later's pretty tough. Yeah, I think
I'm
we'll probably
already
stick with
yawning.
7. Yeah, if we started this at 8, we would be falling asleep before we.
24 hours stream. Let's do it.
We're getting closer every day.
We're gonna say it every day until we do it.
Oh.
All right, everybody.
Alrighty, guys. Like the stream. Like the
Yes.
stream on Cat's channel. Like the stream here. Go back and forth.
Yes.
Like both on both sides, and
Like,
then
subscribe.
we will keep doing the restreams like this. This was fun. And then we will see you guys next Thursday at 7. Everyone's
Hell
good,
yeah.
right?
Hell
Sweet.
yeah.
May the force be with you.